Cabanto.
Of course, Nick Abanto. And Ray Suerte entering that game against UP, one of our leading scorers or the leading scorer for the UAAP. But, you know, Ray malas nga siya nung game na yun, and he accepted that he was just off. He had an off day. But these guys right here, Nick Abanto, 5 points per game, but he had a 9-point performance, perfect from the field, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And like what you said, the other guys need to step up as well. Jose Antiporta is there, Jed Mendoza, the Spitfire guard from the GRU Heavy Bombers, and also Harvey Pagsanan, the rookie. If these guys can be consistent and they can get back yung suerte ni Ray Suerte, then it won't be a surprise if they compete with the Blue Eagles.
It would be a great mindset though for the rest of the UE Red Warriors to come into the game knowing that their #1 man will either have a bad game or will be a marked target every single game. All right, let's go to Jaime Escalon, joins us at courtside here from the UE Red Warriors. I believe there's somebody celebrating a birthday in your neck of the woods. Jaime, please tell us about it.
Yes, Boom and Mikey. Coach Lawrence Chongson just celebrated his birthday with the team in last Monday's practice. And yun nga, nagpa-pizza party itong si Coach Lawrence Chongson. And he had one wish for the team, and that is that they have good character. Now, speaking of character, Ray Suerte's character will be tested for today's game after a tough outing against the UP Fighting Maroons. He shot 2 for 15, but you know, sabi nga ni Ray sa akin, this is not his first malas game. He's had a lot of those in Cebu being a veteran, but what he usually does is he goes back to the film and tries to figure out what he does wrong, and he will be bouncing back for today's game. And meanwhile, Philip Manalang is not suited up. He is feeling a bit under the weather, so we'll see which guard can step up for today's game. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Thank you very much for the update. Well, we have a couple of thoughts. First thought is, why is the pizza not here with us? Me and Mikey want that, Coach Lawrence. And second is, when you talked about Ray Suerte and him watching the tape, Ateneo definitely has watched a lot of Ray Suerte tape as they are going up against him today. And they're coming off a huge win. When I say huge, big margin win against National University.
Well, Ateneo is the only team who hasn't gotten the memo that in Season 82, we need close games, we need exciting and thrilling games. But the Ateneo Blue Eagles, just like what we expected from them coming into the season, just sheer dominance against the NU Bulldogs, and they had a big one also against the FU Tamaraws. And Ateneo has just really been on a tear lately, and it's actually not their offense that is doing the job for them, but it's their defense. They're actually one of the worst offensive teams in the league right now, considering the firepower that they have. But holding NU to 28% from the field, to 50 points alone, kita mo naman the defense that they put on the NU Bulldogs. The NU Bulldogs average 13 points a ball game in terms of second chance points. Against Ateneo, 4. Turnover points, average of NU, 20, #1 in the league. Against Ateneo, only 13. Fast break points, average of NU, 10. Against Ateneo, 2. So they're really shackling their opponents. They're really clamping down on them. And the system that they run is just that really, they're doing it for each other. There's no one lone star in this team. And without that kind of offense, you would be surprised that they're 5-0. But that defense has just really been doing the job for Ateneo.
And in a season of explosive scorers, highlights, and explosive games, they're a team who has 2 players who are averaging in double figures, barely. 1 at 12, 1 at 10. We're talking about 30 Raven at 10 points. And that guy on your screens, 12 points. And I'm just saying that to highlight the point that you're talking about, that for them, it's never about the offense.
Well, yeah, it's crazy how our top 10 leading scorers in the league, none of them are from the 5-0 Ateneo Blue Eagles. And because of this guy right here, he is not really known as a scorer. Yes, he is leading the team in terms of points per game at 12.6. But that is not even his main facet. It's his primary weapon. It's really his defense. 13 rebounds a ball game, 13 against NU. 7 blocks, season high for Ange Kwame, and he has more blocks than 6 other teams. So that is the presence of Ange Kwame down low. Yes, he will score the basketball because of his height, because of his skill. But if he can play defense the way he does all game long for a whole 40 minutes, then other teams really have a big problem against Ateneo.
Big, literally and figuratively, as he is the anchor of that defense of Ateneo. As we are joined by Franny Reyes at courtside from the Ateneo side, and we all know, Franny, your coach continuously in the process of fine-tuning every game, but was he happy about that 21-point win against National University?
Well, after last Sunday's game, that was actually only the second time this season that Coach Tab Baldwin told the guys great job, which is something pretty rare to hear from him. Now the Blue Eagles dominated NU, and I got to talk to two of the rookies about it. Jason Credo told me that in their past matches, they hadn't peaked in their game yet, even though it's something that they've been working on for so long. So last Sunday against NU was a preview of what this team is capable of doing when they play at their best state. Now he and Gio both scored their first points in their UAAP college career, and Gio emphasized to me the importance of avoiding complacency, because once they have a bad game, they're in trouble. Now Matt Nieto echoed this to me earlier, because he told me that any team can win whether you're at the top or at the bottom. Coach Tab always tells them that it's scariest to go up against teams with nothing to lose, so expect nothing less than Ateneo sticking to its principles, its system, and playing hard to dominate against UE. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think if you're talking about whether Ateneo is complacent or not, me and Mikey were wondering. Coach Tab, Coach Gabby Severino, Coach Sandy Ares-Pacachaga, Coach Yuri Escueta were all involved during the warm-ups. So that's a sign for Ateneo that they're not taking UE lightly in this game. I think that's what it sends in terms of the message. All right, let's talk about personal matchups, individual matchups. Who are you looking forward to, Mike?
Well, of course, we're going to look at the big guys down low, Ange Kwame and Alex Jaquite. But here from the outside, offense versus defense. Ray Suerte had that bad game, or that malas game against UP. Only 4 points against JD Tungkap. But he will have his hands full against 30 Ravenna. 30 hasn't had the best offensive season so far for him. But these two guys will go at it for sure. 19 points per game for Ray Suerte. And that is the challenge for 30. To do what JD Tungkap did, which is to stop Ray Suerte.
I want to ask you that question. You played in the UAAP, obviously. You said off the air, we were still off the air when we saw Coach Tab and all the coaches of Ateneo right in the middle of the warm-up, actually directing the warm-ups, not just watching. They were really totally involved. You said you've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen like a head coach literally enter the floor and
During the warm-ups.
during the warm-ups and really like lead the warm-ups, lead the stretches. So the complacency will for sure not come from Coach Tab Baldwin and the coaching staff. And Alex Jaquite was very, very active against Bright Acqued, especially in the second half. 14 points, 6 of 12 from the field, along with 11 rebounds, all in the second half. So you see how he is challenged when going up against fellow imports in this league. And now, if you went up against the former MVP last game, now you're going to go up against the reigning Rookie of the Year in Ange Kwame. So Alex Jaquite, you can expect to be ready for this matchup.
The UE Red Warriors and Ateneo de Manila University, cannot be more different coming into this game. As we look at some of the other key players when it comes to defense against UE, he might alternate with 30 going up against Ray Suerte. Do you think, Mike? I thought originally that would also be part of the plan as a secondary defender.
Well, yeah, the perfect 3-and-D guy for Coach Tab Baldwin. 13 points, 3 rebounds against NU, and the length and the activity of Gian Mamuyak, especially when pressuring the basketball, making sure that he is not fouling every time his opponent attempts a shot. So he's gonna for sure come off the bench and, you know, relieve 30 Ravenna of that unenvious task of trying to guard Ray Suerte.
Ateneo has made the Final Four 9 times in the last 10 years, Mikey, while UE has not made the Final Four in the last decade. It was season 72, right at season 72, the last time they made the Final Four, and that was also the last time they went to the finals against Ateneo. They lost 2-1. Also the first year of Lawrence Chongson as coach. You remember that with Paul Lee spearheading that campaign. So again, it could not be any different going into this season. These two teams, the winning tradition of Ateneo in the last decade. Yun lang muna pag-usapan natin. And then the struggles of UE in the last decade, and we'll get to more of that as we go along in this game. As we look at Edgar Orpilla, Julius David, and Oliver Angeles, 3 men who will patrol the sidelines here in the second game of our triple header on a Wednesday. We are happy to have you with us, and also thank you for checking us out, especially if you're in traffic, because that's what I did earlier. sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/UAAP. Guys are watching on the road, and also through iWant. We have all the platforms ready. We have game number 2 on a Wednesday ready. UE looking for their second win.
In UAAP
While Ateneo
season
looking to go 6-0. Obviously, Ateneo's favored in this game. But now, let me go back to that usapan natin kanina na medyo nabitin about the coaches being part of that warm-up, all of them, and to be directing the warm-up, the head coach, everybody else. What does that, if you're an opponent, you're seeing that for the first time, you're a spectator, you're seeing that for the first time, what impression do you get from
Well,
that?
it starts with them. It starts with the coaching staff. Of course, it goes down the line from the management to the coaches and then to the players. That complacency is not an option for the Ateneo Blue Eagles here, especially going up against UE. Like what we said, the UE is struggling the past decade. Then they have the luxury of taking UE somewhat quote-unquote lightly, but they don't because they have utmost respect for Coach Lawrence Chongson and of course Alex Jaquite.
Can't believe it. There was a little nudge, a little push on Ange Kwame, and they called an offensive foul. So manipis yung tawag at the start.
And usual
of the game.
starters for Ateneo, but for UE, no Rey Suerte to start the ball game off here against Ateneo.
I want to get your opinion as we're just here at the opening minutes of this game, Mikey. When you have two players like that, Jaquite and Kwame, and you know they're going to be banging bodies, you know they're bigger and stronger than everybody else. Do you think they get more leeway? They should get more leeway when it comes to the, you know, the movement under the basket.
Well, it's tough for them. They're not as mobile as obviously the smaller guards. But blocks like this are the reason why it's also
11 seconds on
a
the shot
delicate
clock.
situation when Ange Kwame is down low. Those small bumps, especially from a fellow imports, I think you can give them a little bit more leeway to bump
Especially if
each
they're
other
that
and
big.
compete with each other. Kumbaga, what else can you do when you go up against a guy that big and that strong?
Pagsanghan with a miss from three. Matt Nieto looking at his teammates. Wong, Ravenna, Navarro, Kwame for three. That's off to the right and strong. Navarro with the offensive rebound. Wong easily for the jump shot. Doesn't make it, but Kwame cleaning up as usual.
And that's one thing Alex Jaquite cannot do. Alex Jaquite tried to go to the other end after that three-point attempt by Ange Kwame and also bring down the basketball. It'd be tough if this is what Alex Jaquite will do against Ateneo.
The start here, very crucial for the UE Red Warriors. PS Bankable assist of the game to Ange Kwame. Para
Timeout,
PS Bank
UE Red
personal loan na
Warriors.
maasahan. Apply online, no collateral. Early timeout by the UE Red Warriors. Second game of our triple header today, Wednesday, here inside the Mall of Asia Arena. 61-39 was the NUFEU score earlier in the first game.
And Ateneo really pressuring the basketball. Kumbaga nakita nila that UE doesn't have a legit point guard on the floor right now.
Philip Manalang, as Jaime reported earlier, in sick bay today. 6 on the 24. Abanto from 17. Got it.
That's a good shot for Nick Abanto to try to pull the big guys out of the paint for Ateneo. A chance for the lane to open up for the slashers of UE.
Ange underneath against 3. Footwork. And it will go to the UE Red Warriors.
As we look at this Antiporda finding Nick Abanto. No hesitation coming off of that perfect game against UP, hitting from 17 feet.
How about this ploy of Coach Lawrence Chongson of not putting in Suerte?
Rey Suerte.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Rey Suerte will have to go up against the second unit of of Ateneo. And if you get a start like this, especially from Harvey Pagsanan, that's a good start.
Gotta be 100% the amazing move of the quarter.
So Ray will have to go up against the second unit of Ateneo, which will give him a little space to really control the basketball and have all the shots that he needs.
And maybe that's where Gian Mamuyak will come into play for Coach Tab as Kwame gets a foul again. Is that from Giaquite? And that would be
Second foul, number 23, Alex Giaquite. His
second personal. Yamaha Mio #1 move by Ange Kwame. Yes, it is Giaquite. Mikey with 2 personal fouls. And major handicap now for the UE Red Warriors.
Oh, that is the last thing you need, especially early in this game.
And that's why that offensive foul earlier, that was big. Pagsanhan, Bumali, gets the ball back. And the defense of Navarro and the rest of the blue shirts quick to come back.
Look at the transition defense of Ateneo, just recovering back. 2 guys tried to go for the block on that first attempt. And then William Navarro getting that second block, or finally getting a block on that second attempt.
Abanto loses it. Picked up by Ateneo. 7-minute mark approaching here in the first quarter. Nieto. Wong. Wong out to 30 from the corner. And Kwame having a field day today with repossessions. Nieto gets the roadblock. Nieto from 15. Nothing there. Giaquite finally puts a stop on that play.
And UE needs to do a better job boxing Angelo Kwame out. Already 3 offensive rebounds for him.
Oh, and a 3 early on here. Pure Gold always panalo move, the first triple of the ball game.
The offense of UE, a lot of firepower on that roster, tying the ball game up from the corner.
Gravity.
And an offensive foul called here.
And this is what Lawrence Chongson wanted to see to start this game. No, I won't start Ray Suerte. And if you guys can, keep it a game, especially against the #1 shot blocking guy in the league, 4.8. Again, 6 other teams. He has more blocks than 6 other teams. So, kitang-kitang interior defense.
That's a great point, and that's why we mentioned in the pregame, Mikey, as Alex makes a move underneath and draws a foul from Ange Kwame this time. We were making that point in that game. If you're UE, you have to have the mindset that you know that your #1 gunner will always be a marked man, especially if you're going up against a #1 team defensively in the league. So you know that you have to do something and not just rely on that guy on your screens. And hence, as per our conversation, and Lawrence Chongson taking him out of the starting lineup to force the hand of all of these other players.
Well, it's easy to watch Ray Suerte when he has one of those performances like the one he had against LaSalle. But, you have to be ready also. You have to know, you have to compete with your opponents because you never know. Like what you said, 4 points, Ray Suerte held down to 4 points and you only lose by 3 against the UP Fighting Maroons.
Kwame trying to get the 3rd personal of Giaquite. Jem Cruz stabilizes. Pagsanhan drives again. Kwame smacks it away, but Giaquite was there.
And Giaquite, the activity down low. This is what he needs to do. The way he played Bright Nakwete in that second half, he needs to bring that out here today. Yes, he is haunted with 2 early fouls, but he still has to be aggressive.
4-point lead. Nieto out to Ravenna. Ravenna against the rookie. Kwame. Wong with 4 to shoot. Wong steps back for 3. Short. And Kwame again able to track down the offensive rebound. Taken away by Jem Cruz. Antiporta. Giaquite. As we approach the Gatorade hydration checkpoint, our first of the game. Pagsanhan fakes using the screen. 30's in front of him. Alex thought about it. Drives left. Gets away, but Kwame with a recovery.
3 blocks already for Ange Kwame. But again, Giaquite trying to attack his counterpart.
Good energy on defense here from the UE Red Warriors. 30 recovering in time. Ange setting the roadblock on the other side. Nieto uses it. Then with the floater. Comes up long. Forward pass to Pagsanhan. 30 was in front of him. Pagsanhan overshoots enough. Bothered by 30 Ravenna. In the middle is 30. Side steps to the hole.
30 Ravenna with a Euro step around Alex Jaquite.
Cutting the lead down to 2 as we hit a timeout here in the UAAP.
Isaac Go coming in for Ed Swami.
Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, Ateneo behind by 2. PBO coaches winning ways. That's Coach Tab Baldwin. On a quest for a three-peat. Of course, a quest for a 4th straight championship appearance. He has been coaching Ateneo since 2016, of course, the first year that he got in. Went up against LaSalle, lost in that first year. And then the next year, got back that loss. And then, of course, last year was the win against the UP Fighting Maroons. But officially, he was announced as the new coach of Ateneo the year before, a few months before, which was December of 2015. So, ganun lang, ang bilis ano ng pangyayari as you look at the Ange Kwame on your screens and his effect and his numbers so far offensively for Ateneo. Pero ganun lang, no? Tab is already there for 4 years, Mikey.
Very efficient offense for Coach Tab Baldwin and Ange Kwame. 3 of 5 from the field, along with 5 rebounds, 4 offensively.
So Rey Suerte is in, Mikey. That means Mamuyak is also in for the very first time for UE and Ateneo respectively. A kick by Jaquite, so that will go back to 14.
So Jet Mendoza and Rey Suerte are coming off the bench.
Yung pa pala, no? Good point there, Mikey. It wasn't just Rey Suerte, but the other one and done player.
Il Tolentino as well. So a lot of firepower coming off the bench for UE to start this game.
A guy who also starred in that
LaSalle, that win.
breakthrough win against LaSalle. Nieto from way out comes up short. Jaquite high up for that rebound.
Good job. This is UE's chance to really catch up or make this lead bigger. When Ange Kwame is not on the floor, they can control the paint and establish Jaquite down low.
And if you're UE, you kind of survived that first burst, no first quarter na kala mo, naku,
Ito na.
iiwanan na. Oh. So it gives you a little confidence that you guys have settled down as Connor turns the ball over.
And also, Alex Jaquite has been disciplined with his fouls ever
two
since getting
fouls.
those early 2 fouls.
Good point.
That's a big risk for Coach Lawrence Chongson, leaving him in.
Isaac Go is the guy now that he's going to guard. And you know it, Isaac Go with that high basketball IQ, he's going to try to get that 3rd foul some way, somehow. Jaquite breaks up the play.
A little passive there for Isaac. Could have taken the shot. A little too patient on that offense.
Suerte had Navarro on him. Suerte uses the glass a little too strong and a little to the left. Nangunguna si Mamuyak. But again, Connor breaking the initial fast break. It's the secondary transition, and I think Alex Jaquite here is a little tired after our Manulife Vision Player of the Game, Isaac Go.
And that's what the big men of Ateneo do. They run the floor, rim run as fast as they can, try to get easy baskets.
And that's fresh legs.
Doon din mapapagod itong si Alex Giacchite going up the big guys of Ateneo. Look at that. 2 steps ahead was Isaac Go for that easy 2-pointer.
Kita mo pati dun sa habol ni Diakite na parang, barely lifting
Can you imagine bumping, trying to shove Ange Kwame, and then the next big man to come in is a faster, a quicker Isaac Go.
And somebody you might have to guard in the three-point area too later. Right now they'll go called for the foul as he was denying Giacchite of position. 11 all, that is our third deadlock of the game. Ateneo had a 4-point lead. UE had the same early here in the first. Good action we're seeing here in our second game. Almost a 5-second infraction called on UE. Giacchite twirls, nowhere to go, sends it out. Suerte, bottled up. Suerte finds a way, puts it up and in. Not panicking, under duress. Well, what a flicks, kakaibang move.
Perseverance for Ray Suerte. Missing the first, getting the rebound, and just fighting his way to a bucket there.
Go inside the three-point area, short. Suerte will tap it out. So that will mean Ateneo ball. And look at that again. And our McDonald's instant replay.
Almost losing the basketball, recovering against 2 blue shirts. And that is the fight in Ray Suerte.
Tyler Teo in the game. Mike Nieto. Ooh, nice move. But a nice swipe there by Suerte to prevent that shot. Teo releases for 3. No. And Alex Giacchite now with, for him, 8 rebounds.
And Ateneo has yet to hit a 3-pointer here today. 0 of 8. The worst 3-point shooting team in the league.
Oh, the escape act! Jet Mendoza for a 4-point lead.
And this is what we were saying. Usually the primary 5 players or the first unit of UE now will have to go up against the second unit of Ateneo, and they have been, you know, scoring at will against the second unit of Ateneo. So good adjustment for Coach Lawrence Chongson. It's been working.
Another play broken up by UE. Under a minute to play here. Connor drives hard, comes up short. Nieto, Mamuyak. 15 on their 24. Daves sends it over to Mike for that set shot. Nothing there. Tolentino gives up the dribble.
Still no offense from the Ateneo side, and UE trying to break through the defense also of Ateneo.
Suerte goes to his left, attracts 3 players, and commits a traveling infraction with 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. As we look at the average, number 2 lang yan, ha?
Number 2.
I mean, David Defonso's averaging almost 18 points, and that's only number 4 in the league. That's how explosive this season has been. Go for 3. Off to the right, he follows his shot, and Suerte picks it up. Mendoza will run out of time, and UE hangs on to a 4-point lead at the end of the first 10 minutes. Here, the second game of your UAAP Wednesday.
Red Warriors.
It is the first time in season 82 of the UAAP in all of the 5 games, including the 6 games of Ateneo, that they are behind in the first quarter. That really says nothing and a lot. Diba? Pwedeng nothing and a lot.
And it's only
because
a
it's only the
4-point
first
lead.
quarter and it's only a 4-point lead. But it says something about UE though, Mikey.
This is the best start I've seen from UE. Again, attacking the basket, sharing the basketball.
Jollibee 100% the amazing move of the quarter.
And this is the kind of start that they needed against UP. But now they're bringing that momentum dun sa second half na kalaban nilang UP, bringing it over to this game against Ateneo.
Biggest lead of either team here in the game so far. Mamuyak skies and draws a foul.
And ever since Ange Kwame sat down, they scored 11 points in that first quarter. So nung nandun si Ange Kwame, 4 points lang na score ng UE. When he had to take a seat, they scored 11. So that is the interior defense that Ange Kwame brings to the table for Ateneo.
Again, for those who tuned in late, Coach Lawrence Strongson brought up the bench Tolentino,
Ray Suerte,
Suerte, and Mendoza.
So now they're going up against, again, the second unit of Ateneo. No 30 Ravena, no Matt Nieto,
No Ange Kwame.
no Ange Kwame. So this is a challenge for the second stringers of Ateneo.
Suerte stays in the play and is able to drop it off to Tolentino for a C2 fast break of the game.
We always talk about the scoring of Ray Suerte, but the IQ and the presence of mind. 2 assists to start the second quarter for Ray Suerte.
Look at this. What about the pass? A little faulty, and he still recovers just in time.
Knowing where Neil Tolentino was on that play and leaving it off.
Alan Beltran was called for a foul.
And Ateneo continuing to settle for outside jumpers. 0 of 11 from the 3-point line. Again, the worst shooting team in the league entering this ball game.
There's Connor, unable to knock it down. Tio. Nieto with a rebound. Go is still there, sliding to the hole. Mamuyak thought about the 3, drives again, sidestep, sets it up, gets the ball back, floats underneath.
And there
Such
you go.
a talented player to see Mamu.
And that's what he needs to do, or what they need to do, is get the ball inside the paint. No Alex Jaquite. You need to attack the basket and get easier shots.
Nice drive. And the bang of the bucket. Jet Mendoza with a master play of the game and a 21-15 count. And a timeout will be called by the defending champs.
Shooting the bonus free throw is Jet Mendoza.
Inside the Mall of Asia Arena, where we are looking at the score at 21-15, a possible 2+1 special for Jed Mendoza. 8:25 remaining in the first half, completed by the one-and-done player.
We were talking about the defense of Ateneo so far in Season 82, and they haven't shown that here to start this game, or in the first half at least, against UE. And also their offense, 0 of 11 from the outside and continuing to settle for jumpers.
Ange Kwame is back in the ball game for Ateneo, together with Mamuyak, Daves, Mike Nieto and Tyler Tio. A foul on the driving Mamu, and it is Ray Suerte. So two major key players for UE here. This is the negative right now that is in the game. For UE, you have 2 fouls for Jaquite, and you have 2 fouls for Ray Suerte. Daves. Mamu was free for a 3. They go back to Tio. Tio for 3 gets it to go, and that is the first triple for Ateneo.
Finally hitting from the outside are the Eagles. Tyler Tio, steady and composed, getting that pass back and hitting from the outside, cutting into this deficit. And UE was threatening to blow the game wide open with that 7-point lead.
Tolentino did not have a handle of that ball when he made the drive. Tyler Suerte trying to avoid a 3rd foul, and here comes a little run, a mini run from Ateneo.
And this is the kind of individual talent that we miss from Ateneo, just because of how efficient and how much of a team they play together. And Tyler Tio with a quick 5-0 run on his own.
Nice drop off by Mendoza to Tolentino.
And just activity from Neil Tolentino. Mendoza attacking the rim, and Neil Tolentino just cutting at the right time, getting to the right spot and getting the pass and hitting from inside.
Mamuya goes to his left. He uses the chicken wing. That's a 3-second infraction.
A little too patient there. A little too much passing. It was a good pass from Gian Mamuyak, but he was asking Ange Kwame to, shoot the basketball.
30 Ravenna and William Navarro coming back as this Jed Mendoza leaves it for Tolentino and our McDonald's instant replay. Mendoza nagtitimon para sa UE. Ateneo's in a zone right here, no, Mikey, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, UE's not really known to have shooters, except of course Ray Suerte. And also today they have only attempted 3 3-pointers, talking about UE.
Connor, quick release, that's short. Tolentino, wala nang babaan. Tolentino working hard for the repossession. Mendoza, Suerte from 15 floats and is fouled by Mamuya.
I've seen so many times Ray Suerte get fouled on that jumper because he has one of those jump shots where he really shoots at the tip of his jump.
Right.
So here, 2 free throws for him. He scored earlier, 2 points, 2 assists, and a chance to get his rhythm back after that malas game, sabi nga niya, against UP.
You know, going back to Hyman's report earlier about being positive and all of these things, when you really think about it, for this UE squad, we all know that they came in with a lot of these new players. One and dones, returning to the UAAP, and that might be working for them, Mikey, in the sense that a lot of them don't have that losing baggage that previous teams have had for in the past. At least, let's say, recent memory of 4 or 5 years of continuously losing. That gets to you for some reason, right? If you've been part of the team also for 4 and 5 years. But with these infusions, all of a sudden, they're, it's like a fresh start for a lot of them.
Well, they came from different teams. Or in like Ray Suerte came from Cesafi. He was a 2-time MVP. So no way is he thinking that he enters games here with UE that they're gonna lose.
Right.
He has that winning mentality that he's bringing to UE. Even Coach Lawrence Chongson. He was the last coach to bring to carry the UE Red Warriors to the Final Four. So now he's back with the UE team, and so that mentality is there, because that's a good point. For the last decade, they've been struggling, but these guys on the floor right now didn't experience those struggles.
That's a 3-point play opportunity for William Navarro. And he will go to the line to shoot free throws.
William Navarro, one of Coach Tap Baldwin's favorites, just being able to put the ball on the floor and attack, given his height and his length.
Well, last year he was averaging 3 points a game, now doubling to 6, but the minutes also from 12 to 21. The efficiency of William Navarro is obviously what Coach Tab Baldwin praises. And he wants to be called William, not Will. William Navarro. Let's make that clear. That's what he says.
And he's the biggest beneficiary of
Rafi Verano.
Rafi Verano had to sit this season out.
I agree. 3-on-2. Mamuya. 30 hangs in the air, but hanging with him was Connor. Nice break up there
That's good
SJ
defense.
Belangel, yes.
Good defense for Connor there on 30 Ravenna,
Right.
just putting his hands in the air and making sure he did not foul or bail 30 Ravenna out.
Alex Jaquite abandons the headband, comes back into the game with 2 personal fouls. Antiporta is also back in the game here for the UE Red Warriors. He was the one who started for UE. We are at 26-23, 5:47 to play in the first half.
27 on the clock.
Nice play, but shuffle the feet. That's what an Ange Kwame
Yeah,
can
that's
do.
the
man.
effect of an Ange Kwame. Just approaching you, medyo nangatok dun si Alex Jaquite for a bit. Called for the traveling violation. But for me, Alex Jaquite may be the one guy who can match Ange Kwame. Height, size, maybe not the speed. But
Right.
out of all the imports, he's the one
Right.
guy, Alex Jaquite.
Oh, nice steal there by Antiporta. Goes to the other side. Belangel was there to stop it. Overpasses. And a counterattack here by Ateneo. Nieto gives up the dribble, and the rest of the UE Red Warriors are back on defense. 13 on their 24. Nieto pops out for 3. No. Back rims that one as we approach the Gatorade hydration checkpoint, but counter turnover here for the UE Red Warriors.
2 straight turnovers there for Antiporta. Another chance for Ateneo.
Navarro gives it up, swings it to SJ. 30 asking for it. At the elbow extended. Back to SJ. SJ launches a 3, gets it to go! And that is our 4th triple of the ball game at the 4:44 mark. We will be back. Pajibar Obar Sasaya as Ateneo comes back here with their 2nd triple of the ball game. One courtesy of Tyler Teal. SJ Belangel coming off the bench and draining a 3 right away.
And the one thing that is going UE side right now, which we haven't seen so far here in the season, is they're out rebounding the Eagles 21-15.
Pero ito yung, yung binanggit mo kanina, the struggle in the first quarter from 3, second quarter at 50%.
You know what's funny is with Ateneo is they're number 8 in the league in terms of field goal percentage. They're actually number 2 in the league in terms of 2-point field goal percentage. So it's really their 3-point field goal percentage that's pulling them down.
Right. 30, kicks it out to the corner, back-to-back triples for SJ Belangel, and they recover the lead here.
And the spark off the bench that Coach Tap Baldwin was looking for, SJ Belangel.
Suerte with a crossover. Suerte with a setup job.
Andre Suerte has come off being the facilitator for UE. Yes, he knows he's going to get all the attention from the blue shirts, and he knows that every time he slashes to the basket, someone will be open. 3rd assist of the ball game for Rey Suerte.
It's just understanding the game, understanding your value. As Kwame for the 2nd triple attempt, at least for the game. Tolentino tracks it down. We are at the 3:38 mark. 14 on the 24. It's back in Suerte's hands. A roadblock provided by Alex Jaquite. And Kwame with a closeout. Rey Suerte says, no problem.
Yes, he came off the bench, but he's definitely still getting starter minutes. He got his rhythm, and now he's just on fire so far for Rey Suerte, taking control.
Belangel with 7 to shoot. He's had 2 triples here. Carves his way inside. Kicks it out to Mac Nieto. Back rims that one. And again, another UE track down here.
If I was UE, I would live with those 3-pointers from Ateneo. Just let them shoot all day long as Ange Kwame doesn't establish himself down low the way he did in the first quarter.
Suerte gets away again, sets up Tolentino again. Sorry, Napanto is the one who benefits from that assist. 33-29. The UE Red Warriors still ahead. Mikey Reyes, take us through this play, please.
Well, it's Rey Suerte. He knew that he was passing the basketball before the shot. So he knew that he would get that little airspace when he can raise and hit a jumper.
You got a 6'9" player running at you who is known to be a defensive stopper too. So that is not the easiest of shots. 33-31 is our score. That's a turnover.
Again, Antiporda.
That's a switch on a defense as you see Rey Suerte off the bench today. 4 assists, a block in 11 minutes, and 7 points. Medyo in-extend nila yung zone nila, no, Mike?
Trying to pressure the basketball, make it tough for UE to call their plays. And again, Rey Suerte, yes, 7 points, 4 assists, and in their last 9 points, scored and assisted on all of those para dito kay Rey.
Navarro set shot, short. Nieto gets it back. They swing it over to 30. He will attempt the 3. He comes up short. Kwame with a push, I believe, there.
And UE has done a great job so far in forcing Ateneo to shoot those outside baskets. They just need to do a better job in boxing Ange Kwame out. But here, Ange Kwame.
Patas na.
Oo. Dalawa na sila ni Alex Jaquite.
Suerte will go to the bench now after he did all of the things that you said and drew the second personal foul of Ange Kwame. Talk about this defense that Ateneo is employing right now, Mikey.
Well, no Ange Kwame on the floor, so they need to contain Alex Jaquite. And they're using a zone defense, but Alex Jaquite was camped down low for too long.
I don't think he realized that his right foot was in the paint.
That's an unforced turnover there. And this is when they can feed the ball to Alex Jaquite a little more because this is an undersized front line for Ateneo.
Vandenberg now inside the game for Ateneo, and a turnover by William Navarro. 1:41 to play. 33-31, UE in the lead. UE looking for their second win of the season. Ateneo looking for the 6th straight. Bad pass. Now, I understand there is the advantage on Ange Kwame not being there, but you also, as we look at the Ravenna, of course, you also, Denise Joaquin, cousin of 30, Ravenna, you also do not want to force because
Yeah.
you know there are like 3 players now favoring the side of Alex Jaquite.
You have to let it happen. Back of your head, yeah, you know Alex Jaquite has that height advantage or that mismatch, but you have to let it flow. You let the offense flow and try to get him the basketball at the end of the offensive sequence, not at the start when all the blue shirts are ready for him.
Especially because that's what they've been doing. That's what gave them this lead. 30 attacks, goes to the other side. Magdenburg with the offensive rebound. 1 minute to play in the first half. 9 on the 24. Ravenna from 15. Got it! Tied ball game. And we are the 5th deadlock of this game.
That's a big shot there for 30 Ravenna, especially because he has been struggling and he needed that to see that ball go in the rim, go through the hoop for that confidence, especially coming the second half.
Jaquite underneath. Against 3. Oh no! Holds on to his ankle, tries to get back up, shakes it off. 30 seconds remaining. Boy, that's a close one.
And this is the guy who played against LaSalle, entered the ball game right after coming from the hospital.
All right, you're right, you're right. 6-second difference between clocks. Belangel stops. Magdenburg fakes. Wild shot, and that is a problem because it's the end of the half and a 3rd personal foul might be drawn here on Alex Jaquite. It's official.
That's big. That's 17 minutes without a foul. And that last possession entering the half, he gets a foul because someone else didn't box 30 Ravenna out.
That's a good point, Mikey.
So I'm
He
sure
can't
that
do it.
You can't.
all
You
on his
can't.
own.
Yeah, you can't do it all on your own. Even without Ange Kwame.
Because he was defending the Magdenburg drive.
So because someone didn't box 30 Ravenna out, it forced Jaquite to challenge that putback and get his 3rd foul.
Details in the game again. Little nuances of this game.
And that's frustrating for Coach Lawrence Chongson.
The pitch to Suerte with 7 to shoot. Suerte, bumitin pa ng konti against 4 players. So now Ateneo will have a crack at it. Right at the nick of time. Would have counted. But at the end of the first half, it is UE with the lead, 35-34. You're watching the UAAP right here on SNA. We're back inside here at the Mall of Asia Arena. The players go to the locker rooms first. They take a break at halftime. which means a spotlight will be on our wonderful UAAP fans. PS Bank Mobile fan of the game. Deposit checks in a snap with PS Bank Mobile. Download now. 35-34 is our score at the end of the first half. UE with the lead. Hey, show some support for your team. Shop now for official licensed UAP merchandise at www.uapstore.com. Minding you mga kapamilya, paalala lamang, commute warrior ka ba? Sa ABS-CBN TV Plus Go, masusurvive mo na ang stress ng araw-araw na traffic. Haba ng pila, hassle sa commute. Well, you can catch the UAP live as it airs, as I said earlier. No data charges while watching. Follow TV Plus Go on Facebook to know more. Speaking of looking out, catch all the UAP 82 men's basketball action on iWant. Just download the iWant app or go to iwant.ph/sports and watch the games live and on replay anytime, anywhere. Take a break and then our partner Mikey Reyes will talk about the first half here for UAP. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena for this UE Ateneo game, our second of our triple dip, and it is UE with a 1-point lead at 35-34. Ateneo had a 4-point lead. That's their biggest lead in the game. UE had a 7-point lead at 22-15 earlier. Mikey Reyes is here to break it down for us. What did you see in that first half, Mike?
Well, we all thought Ateneo was going to have another Ateneo-like performance in the first half after that 4-0 run, wherein Coach Lawrence Chongso needed to call that early timeout. But off of that timeout, just the tables just turned, and the sense of urgency we see from the nothing-to-lose mentality of the UE Red Warriors and just really competing with the Ateneo Blue Eagles. And for me, this is just a bonus that you're up by 1 going up against the defending champions.
And again, the ploy of Coach Lawrence Chongson at the start of the game was to sit down gunners like Mendoza, Suerte, of course, and even Tolentino all coming off the bench, and it worked for him. Did that surprise Ateneo a little bit? It totally surprised us, for sure.
For sure, but if from what we remember from Coach Lawrence Chongson, that's what he likes to do. He likes to mix up his starting 5. It was just really surprising for us that Rey Suerte was the one who sat on the bench. But when he entered the ball game, he played his usual game. He got his confidence again going up against the second unit of Ateneo and just played and led UE in that second quarter run.
If there's something, though, that should bother and concern Coach Lawrence Johnson and the rest of his staff, the 2 personal fouls on Rey Suerte and the 3 personal fouls on Alex Diakite. The last of that was in the last 8 seconds of the first half. Okay, let's break it down by the numbers this time.
Well, maybe the best performance of the UE Red Warriors so far in the season in terms of the first half. 41% from the field. Also defending the Ateneo Blue Eagles, forcing them to outside jumpers in which they are the worst, again, the worst shooting team in the league, holding them to 34% from the field. They've out-assisted Ateneo, they've out-rebounded Ateneo, although they've had more turnovers and more points off turnovers, Ateneo on that side. You know, they're just really competing with the Ateneo Blue Eagles and not really scared of, again, that unblemished record of the defending champions.
Looking at the leaderboard right now, Suerte still leading UE regardless of him coming off the bench. Nakita with 9 rebounds. Suerte with those 4 assists. As you mentioned earlier, there was a part of the game where he either scored or assisted in that stretch for the UE Red Warriors. Again, good afternoon. Thanks for watching us. Boom Gonzalez, Mikey Reyes, and Franny Reyes this time will give us an update from the defending champ side. Franny, go ahead.
Well, that's not at all how Ateneo wanted to start today's game. They're not as efficient on the court. They're not playing at their tempo, and they're not running as a team. Now, earlier, Coach Tab was telling them they have to rebound and pressure UE, but UE is currently out-rebounding the #1 rebounding team in the league. And you know, they have to match UE's aggressiveness. But earlier in the dugout, they were quiet. No one was talking. But there's no time for that. UE will continue to be relentless. So Ateneo has to attack and protect that rim. They do say that games are not won in the first half. So let's see if Ateneo can show the UE Red Warriors what Ateneo basketball really looks like. Back to you guys.
The 2 words that you talked about, Franny, earlier at the start of the coverage, the good job compliment that Coach Tab Baldwin dished out in that game against NU. Obviously not part of that conversation at halftime, but we'll see. Maybe at the end of this game still, as you mentioned, there's still that second half, and you know, Coach Tab will make those adjustments. Now, speaking of the first half, we bring in Jaime Escalon from the UE Red Warriors. Mikey, Franny said no game is won in the first half, but you can totally get confidence and momentum from that first half, Jaime.
Yes, Boom and Mikey, you know, earlier you talked about that 4-0 start and Coach Lawrence Chongson called that timeout. And the first thing he said during the timeout was that we will never win against Ateneo in that way. He was talking about the poor ill-advised shot selection, and they did respond in the second quarter, especially with Rey Suerte facilitating. Now during the halftime break, the coaching staff felt like they could have been up by even more, and one thing they talked about were the turnovers, unforced and forced turnovers that they felt they could have done a much better job on doing so. And one thing that Coach Lawrence Johnson did was challenge his guards to protect the ball and to set up the plays well. So we'll see if the Red Warriors will respond to that challenge. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Your thoughts on that, Mikey?
Well, I haven't seen 40 minutes of UE basketball in the whole game so far this season. Against LaSalle, even though they got that first win, they played better in the first half. Here, against UP, they played better in the second half. So this one, we will see if they can play good both halves the way that they did. They started this game.
3 fouls on Alex Diakite. What are your thoughts on that? Will we see other players rotate here? Will we see maybe John Apasible, who I don't think has played in the first half?
Well, I also believe UE can't get this ball game without Alex Diakite on the floor. So with Coach Lawrence Chongson and how he kept Alex Diakite on the floor even with those 2 early fouls, I believe he will let Alex Diakite be disciplined enough or challenge him to defend without fouling Ange Kwame. So I think he's gonna stay in the ball game, but he will have to really take care of those fouls.
Ateneo, let's talk about them, Mikey. What other than the things you said that yes, they're shooting poorly. Yes, all of these things are not working with them in the first half. There's no sense of panic in that team.
Oh, for sure. We all know that they will stay composed and they will continue to play their game. But like what we said, they're the worst offensive team in the league, or one of the worst offensive teams in the league. But it's their defense that does the job for them, and that's what they didn't do also in the first half against UE. And like what Franny said, they need to out-rebound their opponents. They're number 1 in rebounds and number 1 also in rebounds allowed. So always a big margin between themselves and their opponents in that department, and that's what also they failed to do against UE.
35-34 is what we're going to work with at the start of the second half. Just before we get to that second half, let's give you our Coho Creating Beautiful Plays segment. This is Chris Connor on the cut and the pass, one of the 4 assists of the former champion and MVP, Sasafi, talking about Ray Suerte. In the meantime, later on at 3 p.m., there will be a UAAP CheerCon. It's a press conference. A UAAP CheerCon is what it's called. That's 3 p.m. on sports.abs-cbn.com, on Facebook, on Twitter. If you are interested to know the order of performances in this year's cheer dance competition, please log on and check it out. Main competition will be in November for the annual spectacle. That is close to my heart, the cheer dance
for sure.
competition. It's been a while.
How
but,
tough is it to announce second placers?
Everything is tough about the cheer dance competition, but it's about them and it's about watching these athletes. Don't forget about it. These are athletes that perform in the cheer dance competition, and they get that once a year chance, Mikey.
Oh, that's what's tough.
To
What you always say about cheer dances.
Yeah.
They train the whole year. They have like 10 minutes.
6 minutes, I believe,
6
is their
minutes to do it perfectly as possible. So a lot of things can happen in those 6 minutes.
There's no Wednesday, Saturday.
Walang bawi tayo
Sunday,
next
yes.
game.
Yes. So that tremendous respect. I have all the respect, as always, and love for our cheer dancers here in the UAAP. In the meantime, third quarter is underway, 35-34. Ravenna, Nieto, Kwame, Wong, and Navarro, the same starting 5 for Ateneo. And I believe it is also the same starting 5 for the UE Red Warriors. And it is Pagsanhan, Antiporda, Ojem Cruz, also Diakite, and Nick Abanto.
So again, Ray Suerte, Jed Mendoza, Neil Tolentino, all coming off the bench here in the second half.
Sorry, Jem Cruz came off the bench in the first half. So just a minor change. 3 personal fouls on Alex against Ange as 30 comes up with a smile because unintentionally deposits a twinner using the bank.
If I was UE, I could live with that result there. Again, forcing Ateneo to shoot from the outside, taking care of the paint and clogging the lanes for the slashers of Ateneo.
Deposits a 3, by the way, not a twinner, but a 3 ball. Tough pass. Cruz recovers against Navarro. 1 to shoot. That's it. A defensive stop by the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Coach Lawrence Chongson on your screens.
Kind of defense that we are used to seeing from the Blue Eagles. There was absolutely no chance for UE to attack the paint there and forced Pagsanhan to a tough shot, but called for the 24 shot clock violation.
Nieto out to Ravenna. Then to shoot, Ravenna from 16. Another bank shot and another smile. So does that mean 2 times
sinasadya.
lucky?
Or pinakita niyang sinasadya niya talaga. Pwedeng dalawa
okay,
ka.
okay. Gawain natin yan.
Oo, ngiti na lang.
Pag chamba yung una, gagawin mo pa rin pa sa pangalawa.
Para sabihin di chamba. Pero for this, the first 3-pointer, he pointed to the skies as to say thank you. But on the second one, with all confidence
Right.
and no hesitation.
Window shopping.
Oh, and top of the key too, both times.
Using that square. Dakite drops it off. And Abato contributing points here to cut the lead down to 2, 39-37. A Manulife Vision Player of the game.
And just grinding out every possession for UE. Another nice attack there for Jakite and the dish to Abanto.
Kwame sets the roadblock. Open for 3. Not that time. Navarro keeps it alive, and it is Kwame who is the beneficiary of that Navarro tap. And Coach Lawrence Johnson calls another timeout here at the start of the third. McDonald's instant replay shows us this miss from Kwame, but Navarro taps it back to Ange, and Ange doing what he does, just following his shot, all caught on our McDonald's instant replay. 41-37 is the score. Ateneo with a 4-point lead. That matches the biggest lead that they've had in this game.
And Alex just cannot afford to run off after a shot from Ange Kwame, because Ange Kwame will follow that miss all the time, and Jakite will have to box him out even though he's the one who took the shot.
Oh, that's a soft pass by Pagsanhan to Antiporda. Turnover. That is the topic at halftime for UE. They could have had a bigger lead, they said, if they minimized those turnovers. Jakite. Kwame makes the move, gets it to trickle in, and the biggest lead of the game for Ateneo. Yamaha Mio #1 move.
Ange Kwame starting to take over, asking for the basketball, asking for the clear out, and goes one-on-one against Alex Jakite.
A nice drive, nice swing of the ball, and Jeff Cruz shows the stroke from beyond the arc.
Perfect execution there for UE.
Domino's Pizza, what a delivery play.
But that extra pass to wide open. Cruz outside. And sharing the basketball, continuing to share the basketball is UE.
They're going to call a 4th personal foul now on Alex Jakite.
And this is what we were talking about. It's a risk to keep him in the game. And now, I believe, Coach Lawrence Johnson will have to go elsewhere.
Beltran check in to the ball game, and also Suerte. Done posible, ano? Hindi gagamitin. I know he's undersized, but who else? I mean, everybody's undersized against Ange Kwame anyway.
Ganon din.
It is Beltran. Fresh body against Ange. Good defense there. Ravenna launches another one. And again, it is Kwame following the shot. Turnover. Abanto. Abanto drives. Swatted away by Navarro.
And Ateneo, team defense. Yes, Abanto had the step against Adrian Wong, but William Navarro from behind chasing him down here.
Not giving up on the play. Look at that, 2 steps behind. But you gotta give credit. Again, these plays, that Wong attempt to swipe delayed the move of Abanto, so William Navarro able to catch up for that spike. Wong launches a three, gets it to go.
Ateneo starting to hit from the perimeter. Earlier, 30 Ravenna with one of his own. This time, Adrian Wong, both of them didn't hit the three-pointer in the first half.
Abanto, bad pass and a foul on Navarro. As bodies fall here for Ateneo and UE. Ravenna, Navarro, a little wild now on the offense dito para sa University of the East. And this is now the biggest lead for Ateneo.
Nice pass there for Ange Kwame. And he has just become or improved a lot in terms of passing off of the double team, being patient, waiting for the double team to come, and as soon as it did,
Wong knocking down the three. He is 36% from that area, the three-point line.
and UE needs to continue to, you know, share the basketball ball movement, player movement, because they're actually 7th in the league in assists with 13 a game. Today they already have 12, so that is a big reason also why they are just 6 points down against Ateneo.
Are they reviewing this for the nature of the foul? It is an unsportsmanlike that they're gonna call on Nicabanto.
We've seen a lot more unsportsmanlike fouls this season. Because I believe once they see that you're not going for the basketball, it doesn't really matter kung yung dati may advantage pa, kung may tao sa harapan. Ngayon, as long as they see that you're not going for the basketball and you're not making a play on the ball, they will call an unsportsmanlike foul.
2 free throws. All possession. So upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul. 46-40. Navarro will go to the line. Earlier today, again, if you missed it, 61-39. That was the NU win. Boy, a win that they needed, as they have suffered all of these heartbreaks here in the UAAP season 82. They get a comfortable win. I think much deserved. And you know, I was chatting to Coach Denok Miranda earlier as FEU was exiting, and isa lang ang sinabi, alat. Maalat. Sabi niya, araw talagang ganun. Mikey, alam mo yan.
That's basketball.
Wala talaga. Inalat.
And that's also one of the reasons why Ateneo is 5-0 is because may mga games na maalat sila eh. But they find ways to win, especially on the defensive end.
Against that FEU game, I remember doing that game. The FEU Ateneo game wasn't the prettiest and highlight-filled game of all, and yet
They got that big win.
yeah, they got the big win. They gutted it out. It was a dirty game, as they would call it, you know, and they still found a way to win the game. And right now, they're up 8. This is the biggest lead of the game for them. They kick it out to Suerte. Free for a 3. Escape dribble. Comes up short.
And now UE will have to find the offense somehow because Ateneo has clamped down on them.
Wong from the corner this time. In and out. Beltran tracks it down.
Also, this is the first
Up,
time.
up. Whoa! Collision by Wong and Suerte, and a foul will be called on Beltran. They're going to review that. Beltran kind of panicked there, Mikey, in that pass. Gave up a wayward pass for Ray Suerte, and looks like Coach Lawrence Chongson here, isusugal na niya
Ito yun eh.
si Jaquite.
Wala ring tayong chance manalo without Alex Jaquite on the
happy
floor.
mo
I
nga.
believe that's what Coach Lawrence Chongson is thinking. So might as well just, you know, give myself a chance, put Alex Jaquite back on the floor.
This is the one that they're going to look at, and they're probably going to upgrade that, Mikey, into...
May problema ba sila kay William Navarro? Bakit ba? It was
Kanina-
both William
Kanina
Navarro.
pa, no, nga. Coach Tab, words for Isaac Go, who will definitely come into this ball game a little later for Ange Kwame. Probably, if Ange can't draw that 5th personal, it's Isaac who's going to call it. Again, upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul. It's the 2nd time here in the 3rd quarter. And it is Beltran who gives the body check on William Navarro. Edgar Orpilla, Julius Daviz, Oliver Angeles, The referees for today, and Beltran will sit down.
Double whammy for Beltran, committing that turnover on that outlet pass. And then that unsportsmanlike foul. Would have been a triple whammy if Rey Suerte did not stand up on his own, because he did get hit by Adrian Wong on that steal attempt.
Now Ateneo slowly putting distance between them and the UE Red Warriors. Consistent Final Four team, talking about Ateneo. 9 out of the last 10 years. The only time that Ateneo did not make the Final Four in the last decade was 2014. 2014 was the year that National University won the championship, if I'm not mistaken. As we get to our Gatorade hydration checkpoint. And also, going back, as we are right now at a 12-point lead, Mikey, if I may, 2014, as you look at the 18-5 run now by Ateneo, was also the last time that UE really made a serious run into the Final Four, with Boise Samar as the head coach, Roy Suma, Charles Mami as the anchor of that offense and defense. But they did not make it in the Final Four. .30 finds a way, and just trying to put it back, and this is now a 20-5 run. Namagana, bumuka na, and Ateneo showing its championship medal here. Coach Lawrence Johnson celebrating his birthday. Video coaches winning ways. Again, the last guy to bring the UE Red Warriors to the finals 10 years ago. That was season 72. He has that in common with Coach Tab Baldwin, that one year, their first year, they make a run to the finals right away. You know, you talk about like coaches like Pido Arecho, Alden Ayod, about their first year.
Every time you mention the year, naririndi ako kasi that was my rookie season also with Elmer Espiritu. 72.
Right.
That was Paul Lee, Elmer Espiritu, Paring Liagas.
Paul Lee was in his second year that year. That was the year he won the most improved
player. MVP was Dylan Ababu.
Yes, because the year before that, he was still a sixth man. And he was the replacement of Marcy Arellano. Who, by the way, I saw over the weekend in Singapore.
That team was tough. With Lingan, Rafi Reyes was there.
Right. We'll get back to that team in a bit. In the meantime, let's get back to the run of this Ateneo team.
A tale of two halves so far for UE. Also for Ateneo, just the efficiency of Ateneo on the offensive end is surprising.
Foul is called. This is now a 23-5 run.
And the way they make basketball so easy, sharing the ball movement, player movement, you cannot go under, especially someone like Adrian Wong, who hit one earlier from deep. Two 3-pointers for Adrian Wong here in the second half.
So season 70, we can go back to, was the year that UE swept 14-0, and I remember doing the finals against LaSalle and saying that they entered the finals winning by a margin of 16 points. In that year, and then lost
Then
by
lost
a
to
sweep
yeah.
to, of course, the brother
Yeah.
Dindo Pumaret, Franz Pumaret, the coach. Season 71 was the last year of Dindo as a coach for UE, and then season 72, Coach Lawrence Johnson came into play.
And I believe that's the last time there was a sweep in the UAAP.
That was the last time.
So that's why it's always kumbaga, pag-iisipan mo, if you really want that sweep, you want to go through that step ladder and wait.
Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter. Let me check on that, on the records there on that last sweep.
On the last sweep, I think.
Yes.
Because from what I heard from Franny earlier, the goal of Matt Nieto and Mike Nieto was they have two goals. Number one is to beat their dad in terms of championships, and number two is to get that first sweep ever for Ateneo.
Penalty.
No other team after.
After that sweep from UE.
Isaac Go for Swami.
Just lead is now at 17. Isaac Go and SJ Belangel back in the ball game. You know, the finals used to be the playing ground of the old UE teams. They had 16 straight finals appearances back in the day. They had 7 straight, that's still a record, 7 straight titles back in the day as Coach Bo Perasol.
Getting ready for
the game
later, and also getting ready for Sunday.
Because he's scouting for Ateneo, which is the Sunday opponent, and later on, LaSalle will be the opponent.
That's a big game also for UP, especially for LaSalle and also for LaSalle, and also because LaSalle has that momentum and that confidence gained after beating Adamson in their last outing.
That should be a good one as you look at the shooting woes in the first half and the turnaround in the second half, and right now it's 61-44. Where did this run start? How did it happen for Ateneo?
For me, it was those two shots coming from 30, Ravenna. Woo!
Climbing the ladder and playing volleyball on defense.
But to start the second half, it was 30 Ravenna who hit that banker, who hit that three-pointer off the glass, and then that pull-up jumper. And here, showing his defensive prowess, his athleticism.
Look at that. Tip. Good enough to bother the shot. Did it?
That is something we never saw in season 72. Plays like those.
Did that run also kind of start,
On that fourth foul.
or maybe even that third foul that
was
put
big.
Jaquite in the last 8 seconds? Well, the
was
run
really
probably
big.
didn't start there, but I'm saying, you know, things changed strategically now for Coach Lawrence Johnson because of that third foul in the last 8 seconds of the second quarter.
Kumbaga, if you're Coach Lawrence Chongson, you held your breath for 17 minutes after that second foul on Alex Jaquite, and you keep him on the floor, you had the lead, so parang in your head, makalusot lang, pumasok lang tayo ng halftime, that Alex would have 2 fouls.
What a pass, what a play.
Isaac Go from SJ
PS Bank
Belangel.
double assist of the game para PS Bank personal loan na maasahan. Apply online, no collateral.
Again, basketball made look easy for Ateneo.
Kumbaga, living on the edge. Yung,
Oo,
yung-
for 17 minutes, 8 seconds na lang. And then, also, again, it was 30 who wasn't boxed out by someone else, not even Alex Jaquite.
Correct,
So,
correct.
masakit yun.
So, a technical foul called on Isaac Go here, who
Technical foul, number 11, Isaac Go for breaking the foul. That's his foot.
so the referee's interpreting that as
Taking
a flop,
taking
taking a foul. So he was called for a technical.
Just a little too obvious there for Isaac Go.
Well, up 17, I guess. Afforded a mistake here too, unlike earlier where they were down by 7 in this game. (63-46) is our score.
Technical free throw for Raceweapon.
So yes, UE, we just confirmed, UE is the last team to sweep the UAAP. I mean, imagine that team. You had Rafi Reyes, James Martinez, Marcio Arellano,
Rafi Lingan. Ay, Rudy
Mark
Lingan.
Borboran.
Mark
Rudy.
Borboran. Rudy Lingana.
They were winning by
Oli.
Yeah, they were winning by 16 points on the average. But a painful way to end that season. Season 17.
That was the perfect example of kinalawang kasi
Dalawang linggo
pagpasok
eh.
ng final.
Dalawang linggo yung pahinga
dalawang
nila,
linggo.
Mikey, dahil nga nag-step ladder pa yung iba eh. Walang Lasal pumasok doon, medyo
Mainit.
focused. And focused is the word that you can use for Ateneo here in the second half. As they break this game wide open and they continue to pour it on against UE 65-47 with a minute and 43 remaining. By the way, we're still in the third.
And this is a 31 quarter for Ateneo. That's one thing. The other thing is holding UE to 11 points.
Up top, that's another foul that will be called. And Mendoza will be called for this one. 30 Ravenna. Is that 30 on the floor?
Yeah.
Yes. Holding on to his wrist. Shaking off any kind of help right now. That frustration, Mikey, is this what it is? For UE here?
I don't think Jed Mendoza saw 30 Ravenna
Fly
from
behind
yeah,
him?
behind him. And this is something, of course, that is something you rarely see also, the athleticism of 30 Ravenna. But, I beg to disagree with myself. I think
He was behind.
Yeah, he did see 30 Ravenna there. So, whatever review ng referees natin.
A high flyer like that, obviously, mapitik lang ng konti ang tuhod dyan or ang paa or obviously, sira na talaga yung lipad mo.
Lipad, yeah.
He's still shaking himself.
And buti na lang din, 30 wasn't at the peak of his jump. He was about to jump when Jed Mendoza boxed him out per se. But this is what we were saying, a tale of two halves. 34 points in the first half for Ateneo. 31, only 3 short of that production in the whole first half. Here in the third quarter.
So this is what, the third unsportsmanlike foul in the third quarter for the UE Red Warriors. Mendoza will be called for this one. Beltran was called for one earlier.
And Mattenberg coming in for William Navarro. Free throws for 30 Ravenna.
Stab Baldwin. His team on the verge of a 20-point lead. They couldn't break through earlier against this spirited UE team in the first half, but UE cannot sustain it.
30 Ravenna, 14 points, 4 assists, 15 points after that free throw. And again, just facilitating for
Okay,
everybody.
little clarification here because we can't understand inside here the barker with the speakers and all of that. Well, the referee said it is Suerte who's called.
For a foul? For
Yeah,
a
so I don't know if
foul.
that was a push. Let me clarify this, Mikey, real quick. 66-47 is our score.
As we see Ateneo really trying to, add a little more to this lead.
Tolentino denied there by Wong. Pagsanhan also misses. So, according to the referees, Suerte pushed Jed Mendoza back, which forced the contact on 30 Ravenna, who just who was flying, obviously. And that's why the foul will be called on Ray Suerte, not on Jed Mendoza. Let's clarify that.
And there you go. Ateneo has outscored their first half 35-32.
Right. It's like night and day. The way the game was in the first half and the second half right now, it's the night and day. It's stark difference between. And that's what Franny was also saying at halftime. That's what Coach Tab, I'm sure, preaches all the time, whether he's behind or he's ahead.
And that's also where they get their confidence, is from the defensive end. Once they clamp down on UE, the offense just took care of itself for Ateneo here in the third quarter.
UE also kind of went away from what they were doing in the first half.
They didn't share the basketball as much as they did in the first half.
69-47. They have 1 quarter and to try to get back into this game. They go Jaquite. drives, draws the foul from Isaac Go before he is able to take the shot. 35 points.
Number 11, Isaac Go.
The third quarter for Ateneo, the most points in a quarter this season. This is after they were down in the first quarter for the very first time in season 82 against any team in their 6 games here in the UAAP. We talk about a turnaround, that is a definition of it.
Also, we were talking about the rebounding department for Ateneo, in which they were out-rebounded by the UE Red Warriors, which hasn't happened all season long. But in this third quarter, they get that advantage back in the rebounding department. And from there, it was just all the way up for Ateneo.
Suerte for 3 at the horn. Something to build on going into the fourth quarter. UE down here 69-50. Pending a review by our referees at the end of the third quarter. And even look at his body language. They're gonna count that. It's a 19-point lead down from 22 for Ateneo over UE. Fourth quarter is seconds away here at the Mall of Asia Arena. A second game of our triple header waiting in the wings. UP and De La Salle be an explosive one. Speaking of explosive, look at that third quarter for Ateneo.
An Ateneo type of quarter. And that third, out-rebounded, outscored, out-assisted. Forced UE to more turnovers.
4 triples also in the third quarter. 3 from Adrian Wong and 1 from 30 Ravenna. That was the one off the glass that started us off.
And also holding UE to less than 30% from the field.
Suerte setting up Alex Diakite. We've seen stranger things happen here in the UAAP. So Ateneo not yet out of the woods as Nieto misses that one.
And UE will just have to continue to compete and continue to be aggressive. Not really look at the score yet, but execute on the offensive end.
Suerte underneath, that's a giveaway by UE. Nieto underneath to Magdenburg. Kwame back to Nieto. Mike makes his move. Suerte was there to deny entry. The pitch to the other side. Flying all the way, but too strong on the lay-in for Neil Tolentino.
That's a sorry miss for Neil Tolentino, and you see in his eyes, he's
so
very
fast.
frustrated. And he loves that type of basketball, that brand of basketball. Open court.
I think UE loves that kind of basketball. I think
in general.
if they would pick a kind of pace, if you're playing against Ateneo, you'd rather try to get these easy points, because against a set-up defense right now, they're having a miserable time. Is that a turnover? No. Oh, yes, it is. Coach Lawrence says it should stay with UE. No touch, says the referees.
The ball will go back to Ateneo. A big 9 minutes to go. And Ateneo has done a good job of maintaining leads here in Season 82.
coming off again a 21-point lead against National University.
And again,
Magdeburg
ball movement,
from the
player
state of
movement.
And more points in the paint this time. Boysen points in the paint to be exact.
And just trying to look for the best shot possible are the Eagles. Every single possession, no forced situations for them.
BJ Andrade in the ball game now. Nice setup again. Pagsanghan could not finish the play after that race suerte dish.
Another sorry missed layup there for UE, but that's again the effect of Ange Kwame.
Magdeburg gets the step. Gives the ball away though. Pagsanghan, 2 players to beat. And it will go back to Ateneo.
Two missed layups and 2 turnovers in the last 3 possessions for UE. As we look at this play by Langel, look at that pass. Everyone was looking at Ange Kwame. And Magdeburg wide open behind the rim.
Biggest lead that Ateneo had against National University, by the way, Mikey, was 25. They won by 21. But this was a really tough first half for them. Second half, it's now clicking. Suerte goes to his left. Suerte with a left hand. This is how you finish a layup. A Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter.
That's what we were saying. That brand of basketball they enjoy. Rey Suerte, 15 points. Quiet 15 points for him off the bench. Trying to do everything he can to make a game out of this.
71-54. And another 3 this time for the big guy after 4 attempts.
And if Ange Kwame starts to make those shots, I really don't know how you're going to defend him.
Game over. Pretty much. Traveling. So it will stay with UE.
Look at this, Rey Suerte crossing over, getting in the air, hanging in the air, finishing with his offhand. But this right here, I don't know how you defend this.
You don't. You just really,
You just pray that he misses the shot.
because he missed 3 prior to that. Go inside.
Suerte
on your screens.
15
15 points, 5 rebounds. The other prolific scorer would be, of course, Kobe Paras. He will be playing in a game later against De La Salle University. Well, it's got some history there too, right? Kobe.
Richie. That's how,
You
for
know.
sure. Kobe went to LaSalle Green Hills.
Green Hills, and there was strong word back in the day before
He was gonna play.
that he was going to play for the LSU. That was before the whole U.S. trips. Yakite. Got the moves, got the footwork, just could not finish.
Again, the length of Ange Kwame just distracting and disrupting shots down low.
Connor chasing Andrade. Kwame to Nieto with 6 to shoot. Here in the 4th quarter, 6:10 remaining. And kick it out to Mike. Magdeburg getting position and the undergoal stab for Alex Jakite. And I think he's just exhausted right now as Camacho goes to the hole.
That's also the effect of Alex Jakite's 4th foul, not being able to box Magdeburg out. But on the other end, UE pushing the tempo, trying to get easy baskets, and getting that 2-pointer right back.
Alex Jakite has played 28 minutes. That is more than what we totally expected, as he was playing with 3 personal fouls. And you kind of get the impression, Mikey, that he did this on purpose just to get himself out of the game already. He is exhausted. Look at him walk to the
Just
bench.
reaching in on that play.
Yeah, look at him. We're seeing him just drag himself to the bench right now.
Not the easiest of matchups for Alex Jakite. This time going
Part
up
of why he's exhausted.
Napagod. Last game, Brett Tahueti reigning MVP. This time reigning Rookie of the Year. Ange Kwame, 16 points, 11 rebounds.
Been a tough week. Magdeburg will try a 3. It's off to the left. And it will be UE possession. I was just about to say, the 28 minutes, sabi mo nga yun, 17 minutes na yun, borrowed na yun para kay Jakite. He stayed out of trouble for 17 minutes without giving up a foul, but totally caught up
And
with it.
that's when they got the lead also, was
Right.
when Alex Jakite was responsible with it, disciplined with his fouls, still aggressive, but after that third and fourth foul, it was just all like, pababa na talaga yung performance ng UE nun.
Suerte measuring up, comes up short. Gatorade hydration checkpoint is what we just passed, our last one for this game. Inside, Nieto blocked by Suerte. Nieto fighting hard. Tolentino gets the possession. This is like what Tolentino likes. Abanto waits for their main man. Connor says, I'm not waiting, I'm shooting.
And that's what they need to do. They need to give themselves a chance. They need to be aggressive. They need to forget about the score and just play the way they know how to play. And this is how it is. Pressure the basketball.
Get some stops and be on the run. Abanto kicks it out. Because once that defense sets up, oh, nice move by Connor. Could not escape the defense of Andrade. 3-on-1 on the other end. Mamuyak. I haven't seen him the whole third quarter. Kwame to the cutting. Andrade. Turnover. Kobe. Blocked by Nieto.
And this is an 18-point lead. And Nieto sacrificing his body, trying to regain possession here.
Camacho. McDonald's instant replay. Didn't know what hit him.
You didn't think also that Matt Nieto was going to challenge him on that shot.
Yeah, one hand, one hand.
No look block si Matt eh.
Says something. 11 blocks for Ateneo as a team. Coach Tapp Baldwin would not allow Matt Nieto to give him a layup. He would hear from him, right? After that play.
It doesn't matter. Up by 20, down by 5, down by 3. He expects the same kind of performance or effort from the Eagles.
Speaking of effort, Gio Chu showing effort on the defensive end and on the run here as Nieto cleans it up in the final 3:42. And now we can officially really say that this is just cleanup time now for Ateneo and UE.
But for UE,
58-59.
they need to still make the most out of the last 3 and 30 left because they want to gain that momentum, that confidence, and that rhythm as they enter that big game against NU, where the loser will fall to 8th place after the first round.
And you can consider this, yes, it might be a loss, but you can consider this a high-quality practice game now at the end against the defending champion.
The highest of qualities na pwede mong makuha in the UAAP going up against Ateneo. As for Ateneo, the momentum is still there. The confidence is still there.
For sure.
And maybe they'd hope that UP will lose to LaSalle later on. But that big matchup on Sunday.
Takeaway. And a foul called on an Atenean with 9 to shoot. 80-61 is the score.
Number 5, Gian Mamuyak.
Well, an entertaining first half, especially from the side of UE. We probably won't see 30 anymore after that fall. He's all right, but no need to risk him as he was being stretched out earlier at the sideline. So the numbers for 30 Ravenna. One of 2 players who average in double figures for the 2-time champion. 6 titles for Ateneo in the last 10 years since we've been talking about that topic this whole decade from season 72 and season 82. UE trying to go back into the Final Four. This 10-year span has been miserable for them, while Ateneo has taken in around 6 cups in that span.
That's a lot of championships. 6 championships.
And just putting in perspective this matchup. Chu kicks it out. 6 seconds remaining. And Joy Malilin not handle that possession. 82-60 is our score. Deporta, who started for UE, out checking in as wala na yung mga gunners nitong UE. They Throw in the towel here. Suerte. Jakite fouling out. Tolentino's out. Mendoza out. Connor steps back.
Also a couple players for Ateneo whom you don't usually see on the floor. A chance for them to show what they can do and win a little bit of more minutes in the next games. Kasama dito, of course, Troy Malilin.
Yep, Gio Chu. 80-62, approaching the 2-minute mark of our game here. Jason Credo again. Seeing action, he saw action also. National University, and that, you know, when the bleeds become a little more comfortable, Gio Chu, Credo, Malilin, always Cam Baldwin making sure that he checks him in. And we get into our PS Bank last 2 minutes. PS Bank pasend via mobile. Ang padala mo, cash agad in minutes. Right at the 2-minute mark, we have free throws going to the rookie, RV Pagsanhan.
One of those guys. Oh, the future of UE, Harvey Pagsanhan. Standout from Hope Christian High School.
Right? Philip Manalang will hopefully be back in the next game as he was out in sick bay today. Jakite has 3 years to play. Leading this year, you have Pagsanghan. Of course, you will lose Mendoza and Suerte, but you are hoping to learn, you know, something in this season going forward.
Connor also, a couple more years. Right. And I'm sure they have players in their Team B or their recruitment. We all know what Coach Bong Tan and Coach Lawrence Chongson can do in terms of recruitment. So UE will be exciting in years to come.
Inside to Chu, fake, and a foul, and another review on this one. This will probably be another unsportsmanlike foul, as Connor, was he trying to break his fall, or
I believe he was
pulling
trying
down?
to break his fall, because that was a dangerous one. I mean,
let's look at it again. Nice fake there by Chu. Pulling down Gio Chu at the same time, but also trying to cushion his fall. That's a tough. That's tough to look at and tough to judge also. But they're going to have to make the call. They're talking about the referees.
I don't know if he had any other choice but to hold on to Chu.
Yep. Then they're going to call it an unsportsmanlike foul. That is the 4th of the second half for the UE Red Warriors as Adrian Wong gets into double figures today.
And those are 3 points for Ateneo. That's a total of 8 points if Chu can make both of these free throws. So that's 8 free points for Ateneo. And of course, in the third quarter also, when they were making that big run, it was good for Ateneo to see the ball go through the hoop or go through the net after that struggle, those struggles in the first half in terms of shooting the basketball.
Poor Connor, he had no choice but to hang on, but he had to be called the unsportsmanlike, because again, these calls are not judged on intent. Doesn't matter whether you intended.
Yeah, hindi na rin siya nagreklamo because he knew he was back against the wall. I would take this rather than, you know, injure himself on that fall.
Glad to see nobody was hurt, whether it's Gio or Chris. Malilin to Mamuya. That's off to the right. That's wild, actually long. And Chu getting some more points for Ateneo here. It is 83-63 now.
It is really the activity of Chu down low, waiting for them to shoot the basketball and waiting for that offensive rebound and put back.
Connor recovers just in time with 1:10 remaining.
Again, this is the kind of momentum you will bring to your next game. So it's good for UE that they continue to fight, they continue to compete.
Oh, that should be a really good one, that NU-UE game. That's going to be a good one. And we're not being sarcastic about it, or we're not trying to joke. That's going to be a good one, because both teams are going to be exciting to watch, yes, and want to win.
I know how that feels. You know that that's a winnable game for you.
Correct. Yun nga.
I mean, it's pathetic to say, but you will prepare more for that game because
the chances
are higher. You're gonna go up against a kapwa struggling team. Once I came into a game 0-6 kami, 0-6 yung Adamson. It was like finals.
Right. That's the joke.
That's the
finals.
joke.
But That's why I'm not trivializing it, Mikey,
Oh.
saying that that's going to be an exciting one, an important one.
So it's just going to be as exciting as the Ateneo-UP matchup because Ateneo-UP, a rematch of the finals. So
Yeah, and let's put it this way. There have been matchups na yung mga ganyan, 0-5, 0-4. But some of them are also not stacked in talent, have no quality, lack the quality players, and that's why they're there. These two teams have the talent.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's going to be exciting. And in the case of National University, yun nga, natalo sila sa dulo, maraming beses. It's not a lack of talent now.
it does not reflect, the
Correct.
records do not reflect what they can actually do or their capabilities.
Right.
Because again, NU lost 3 times by 1 point. UE lost to UP by 3 points. So they're stacked with talent for sure.
And that's why.
Medyo minamalas na siguro breaks of the game. That's why it's gonna be a crazy matchup. It's not gonna be ugly for sure when UE
No.
goes up against NU.
That's going to be a real nice humdinger. And so will be the Ateneo-UP matchup, which is their next game on Sunday. Coach Tam will walk to the other side victorious against Coach Lawrence Johnson, who gave him a headache in that first half. Again, for those of you tuned in late, just to put things in perspective, UE held on to a 1-point lead at halftime and had a 7-point lead at 1 point in that first half.
But it was that 35-15 third quarter that turned the tables around for Ateneo.
So it's 85-68. That's the final score. We'll be back to wrap this baby up. 85-68 is our final score right inside the Mall of Asia Arena here in Pasay City. Ateneo with their 6th straight win against the UE Red Warriors at 68 points. Had a great first half but could not sustain it against the defending champs, thus making them the Data Land Residentials team and the Data Land Residentials quality win by the defending champions.
Again, it was that 35-15 third quarter that just erased that whole first half of UE, in which UE actually led by 1 entering the dugout.
PS Bankable Player of the Game is 30 Ravenna. PS Bank Home Loan, isang araw lang, may buy ka na. We were thinking about that matchup between him and Ray Suerte. Didn't really materialize because again, Ray Suerte came off the bench today.
Yeah, 30 Ravenna coming out with one of his best performances offensively here in Season 82, 15 points. Along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists, but it was those 2 jump shots that really started that big run by Ateneo in that third.
Pareho pang pinangko.
Pinangko pa.
AXA Know You Can Player of the Game, Adrian Wong, also big in that third quarter run.
3 3-pointers. And again, Ateneo, the worst shooting team in the league. But if Adrian Wong can be consistent with this outside jumper, after this, especially gaining confidence from this game, and carrying that over to their next games, and it'll be big for Ateneo.
3 3-pointers and all of his 11 points, all in the third quarter in that breakaway of Ateneo over UE. Reminding you, coming up next, you can now watch the UAAP CheerCon, the press conference for the cheer dance competition, so you can know the order of performances of your favorite schools. 3 p.m. right after on sports.abs-cbn.com, on Facebook, and on Twitter. The main competition, of course, of the cheer dance will be in November. Quick thoughts on the next game, UP and LaSalle here.
Both teams coming off big wins. UP winning over UE, and the other one, LaSalle, getting that big win over at Adamson. So for sure, an exciting ball game. Both of them trying to end the first round on a high note.
So in the UAP CheerCon, after that, we will experience the UP LaSalle game here at the Mall of Asia Arena. In the meantime, 61-39 was the win of NU over UE, and this one's an 85-68 win by Ateneo over, UE this one, NU over FEU in our first game. Mikey Reyes, Franny Reyes, and Jaime Alarcon. I'm Boom Gonzalez. Thank you very much for tuning in to the UAP Season 82 right here on SNA.